Here we are, folks, at Jones Family Farms. You're thinking, Jones, you know, strawberries, you're thinking blueberries, pumpkins this time of year. But where are we here, Dave?
We're at the winery.
We're at the winery. All right. So, you know, we just kind of we were at Sonoma earlier today. This is kind of our Napa. It's about 75 degrees here, October, late October. And
what's in the background?
what do we got there? We got some beautiful vines. As you can see, they climb up the side here on the patio at Jones Winery, going up the mountainside. And the beauty of that, Dave, is the vines, you know, it's not flat land. That's about a 45-degree angle. And you can see the beautiful Christmas trees in the back. I'll be back in 2 months for one of those. But they have to struggle when they're on the slope like that. The vines actually have to struggle, Dave. And so they're searching for nutrients. They're looking for water. You know, that's not easy doing that on that angle. You know what I mean? They're not trees.
That's a challenge then to the grape.
Yeah, that's a challenge to the root. So the root just keeps digging and digging and digging. I mean, ideally you'd like to plant them on rocks. Then they blow through the rocks and try to get stronger. So when you look at an old vine wine, those vines 50, 60 years old, they're just every year after year, they just keep fighting. So anyway, we're going to go and check out some pressing today and just learn another little tidbit at Jones Winery. So we'll see you in a minute.
Batches, and then eventually press everything. And just kind of draining some stuff. So.
Cool.
So these are all pressed grapes.
Crushed.
Crushed grapes.
Yeah,
crushed
what we're going
grapes.
to be doing today is running them through the press.
And how much volume do we have right here? This is, like you said,
about 1 ton of grapes.
1 ton in this container.
Yep.
A state, so grown right here in Shelton, Connecticut.
I thought we were in Sonoma.
We were in Sonoma, now we're in Napa.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
Now we're in the
Pride of
Housatonic
Shelton right
region.
here. Wow. Housatonic grapes.
Cool.
So that's a ton. So what does that yield as far as volume?
Usually we get about 170 gallons per ton. Depends
Wow.
on the year. We may be a little bit less this year because it was a dry year. Average doesn't change much, but there have been wet years where we get 180, 185.
A little more liquid in this one.
Yeah, you can see that. What we do here is this one is done fermenting. This one is still fermenting quite a bit. So you can see that the cap that forms, the yeast converts sugar to alcohol, and one of the byproducts is heat and CO2. So the CO2 pushes the skins and the seeds to the top, and we stir these about 4 or 5 times a day. The more the better, to keep them in contact with the skins. Okay? This is like a real small winery production. We're really handcrafted stuff. I think a lot of the good Oregon Pinot Noirs are treated like this. Okay? And then you can see once the fermentation is completed and the yeast go dormant, then what we call the cap actually falls. Okay, so this is about 2 weeks, 14, 15 days.
So this is about 2 weeks after this.
Yes.
Cool.
We crush them into these bins. We've got a crusher where we slide these bins right in. We actually we do a lot of whole berry fermentation. We try not to crush them too much. You can still some of these.
So still whole berry, like we were chewing on.
Yeah, eat that.
Oh, there we go. I'm in.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little heat there, Dave. A little alcohol.
Yep. Little
Yummy.
fizzy. But we try not to crush them up too much, so when we run through the crusher, we actually just destem them. And then the whole berries just break down over the fermentation period.
So that skin that was on that berry.
That's where we get the tannins and the color come from the skins. That's why when we do whites, we just crush them and press them immediately, so we don't get any of the color and bitterness that comes from the seeds and the skins. We're very excited about this year because we had a hot, dry summer and probably some of the ripest grape we've ever picked.
That's great.
We always have trouble getting our seeds right. So, we not only have to get high sugars and get the grapes right, but ripening the seeds so we have a really better, softer tannin is a difficult thing for the eastern United States. So we're kind of excited because we had a really good growing season. This is our grape press. It's a pneumatic press, operates by air. There's a bladder that inflates by air like a big balloon. I'll open it and show you. So
Just imagine, Dave, this was all done by hand
Back
for
in the
years
day.
and years and years.
what did we do before we had all this technology stuff?
Thank goodness for technology.
You can see this drum will rotate. We set the computer program to whatever we want to do. There are different programs for different types of grapes. And this is what's left out of a ton of grapes. Okay, one of those bins was reduced to that.
Wow.
Okay.
Amazing.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep running these small batches through, fill this up, and then eventually I'll press it really hard. Okay, but you can see the membrane on the other side. This white bladder inflates. There's an onboard air compressor. So this thing, in the pressing position, this will be down, and it just pushes against and it drains out the bottom.
Pushes out all the juice, so
Pushes out all
you
the juice.
eliminate
We're gonna-
almost all the
we're-
skins.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull one of these bins over and show you how we bucket it in, and then we'll go through the whole thing.
It's incredible.
And you know, a lot of the small wineries, it's a very handcrafted kind of thing. The bigger wineries they'll do some of this with pumps. They'll have a pump that would literally pump those whole berries and put them in to the press, or ferment in the tanks and then use pumps or
We're not talking little tanks. We're talking probably tanks the size of this building.
well, some, you know, it depends. Yes, gallo stuff is probably, if you can envision the tanks that are in New Haven Harbor, that size.
Wow.
If you look at some of the pictures, there'll be tractor trailers sitting beside these tanks, and the tractor trailers like little tiny things.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that incredible, Dave?
That's amazing.
Tractor trailer this big, tank the size of the ones in New Haven.
Don't want to lose any.
Almost lost the bottle there, Dave.
Yeah. That's a ton right there.
There's 1 ton.
How's he going to get that into the
Dave,
press?
I'm a little perplexed. I mean, they call me MacGyver, but I don't know how the heck he's going to get that in there.
That hole is much smaller.
You know what I'm going to think? I'm thinking shovel, Dave.
Shovel?
I'm thinking shovel
Let's
right
see.
now.
The
Dave, I got a
mystery is
little
about to
tidbit
be
right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, he's brilliant.
So, yeah, you got to do it by hand, huh?
Yes,
is right.
very small operation at this point. So as we grow, we'll have to figure out some better way of doing it.
And literally, no pun intended, Dave, as they grow. I mean,
Right. Took the words right out of my mouth on that one. Just by dropping it, and then when you turn the press on and inflate that, that's really where you get the action. Amazing. Each bucket right there, it's probably about 2 bottles of wine, maybe. Net.
Gallons. If this is a full 5 gallons, that would be, there's 2.4 gallons in a case.
So you don't really lose much then.
almost 2 cases. Everything he's pulling right there.
Go grab a couple of glasses, Larry.
All right.
You have to press them gently. So I have a question for you, for your wine guy. How much do you want?
Hey, Larry, it's raining down there.
It's raining, Dave. Raining wine?
Talk about a dream.
Oh my God! I'm getting a
It's
straw.
raining wine.
Here we go.
That smelled good, huh?
That smells phenomenal, and that will be in the store in probably about 4 to 6 months.
Nice.
So, thanks for stopping by today, Dave. And here we are at Jones Family Vineyards. Love it. Nice field blend, just in time for next year.
Talking about how to press wine.
How to press wine. Wine Pressing 101 from Napa, California. No, we're not in Napa. We're just pretending to be.
We're at Shelton at Jones Farm. Life is Hard TV.
And thank you very much, Larry, for your help today and the insight into winemaking and the process as it goes on.
Oh, glad you guys could stop by.
It's raining wine.